What's up, guys? We out here in Kensington. We next to the road, and next to the train. We in the middle of it. But we have a lovely lady that's gonna help educate us. She's gonna introduce herself, her name, age, where she's from, and she's gonna tell us her story about her life. It's on you, dear.
All right. Well, my name's Brianna. I just turned 27 a couple days ago. I grew up right outside of Philly, like Willow Grove area. So I lived there till I was about like 8 years old, and ended up moving towards like the suburbs, so like Limerick area. So I grew up, went to school there, graduated high school. So yeah, graduated high school. My mom ended up passing away when I was 16, so that was like kind of a struggle during the middle of like, you know, almost graduating year and being a senior, so that was definitely a tough time to go through. So I ended up living with my sister, and I don't really know like what exactly happened, but I guess like, you know, got knowing friends, knowing other friends, and somehow started getting into doing like Percocets, which my mom was actually an addict her whole life. She was an alcoholic for a long time. She ended up getting sober. She was like 7 years sober when she had passed away. But she had pancreatitis disease, which is like real, you know, it's real severe. So of course, you know, she was prescribed stuff, which then in the end, you know, as an addict herself, made her start abusing, you know. So that was, you know, something I grew up with as well, addiction in general. So I started doing the Percocets, and, you know, it was like a here and there thing for a little bit, and then like, you know, here and there became like, well, why am I feeling like this, like when I don't have them, you know? So learned about withdrawal, and you know, from there on out, it's pretty much just like, you don't have a choice but to either keep doing it or go to rehab. And I, you know, was still young and still, you know, in a, you know, like fun stage, so rehab wasn't really in my mind. So that stayed for a couple years. And I guess when I turned 21 was when I learned about heroin, and that was just a completely different world. It didn't take long before I was shooting up, learning how to shoot up from other people, you know, meeting people at hotels, and just like a whole different world with that. So, you know, even though it almost felt the same high, it was definitely a lot more intense and, you know, overwhelming. So, let's see. So now I am 27, so it's been 6 years. We've been to rehab one time. Stayed there for a month. And honestly, it's crazy how it sounds, but going there, which they sent me to North Philly, from the suburbs, which actually ended up teaching me more about drugs than I had already known. So that's when I learned about Kensington. And I stayed good for a little bit after my rehab, and then I ended up being with a girl who I had met in rehab, and she grew up around here. So once I had found out that she relapsed, it was kind of just like, okay, well, I guess this is what it is. And so we both were getting high. And, it's like leaning on each other, depending on each other. And it also turns into a lot of fights too. So, it's hard to keep relationships steady while you're in an addiction. So, but I mean, I wouldn't say that it was like a drug relationship or anything like that. Like, I always had true love for her, and she actually ended up passing away this past, right before Christmas. God bless. And it's just sad because, you meet people. And everyone's not everyone, but a lot of people are so genuine and, just like have a background, and they've like been through so much, and you get to connect with them through that, and then it's like you never really think that time will come, and it's like then you wake up one day and hear, oh, so-and-so passed or whatever, and it's a shame because now it's just getting like worse and worse and more powerful, and the younger the crowd, because especially out here, it's like so much like open air that you have no choice but to be exposed to it. So I can only imagine, like I always think like, how can you be out here and not be an addict? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. And so I guess it just becomes a normal part of life for them. So now I'm pretty much at the point that, I mean, it's just, I've been saying it for so long that it's like irritating, but then again, I'm not too hard on myself because it's something you can only do when you're ready to do it. Like, you can't force yourself to, be a complete religious, clean person in one day. Like, it takes time, and, everybody learns their own way, which I personally think, like, not everybody even needs to go to rehab, because some people's addictions are just different than others. So that's one thing, like, people don't understand, is that, like, you can't judge your addiction based on someone else's. So now I'm just like, working towards the point of trying to just build like a stable mindset and a stable just like self-awareness of myself without feeling like I need to get high or whatever. And like, you know, nobody's perfect, but you know, it always makes you feel so much better when you have, you know, like taking care of yourself, or you get a haircut, or you know, just like things like that. And so I know that definitely getting clean is like, you know, it's just so. Right now it's tape because I have to get to the dollar store to get bandages. But yeah, so I had abscesses, and so I was in Temple, and they put a wound vac on there, and basically that's like a suction that will like take out all the impurities, and you have to drag around this like machine. But it was really amazing by the time